So it's cold in Yerushalayim Ira Kodesh. Good to see you, Chase. And we are working on our Midat HaBitachon. And we were talking about mitzvahs. Tyler, you have a headache? You don't feel well. Refuah Shlema. Speaking of Refuah Shlema, so the shir is the Refuah the Rosh Yeshiva Nota ben Rochel, and also Eitan Eliyahu ben Rivka Aliza. B'toch Shach Cholei Yisrael, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should send them speedy recovery. Amen. And Be'ezer Hashem, we'll see the Rosh Yeshiva in Yeshiva again, like we did in the past. Okay. Midat HaBitachon, we said there are some mitzvot that involve us more than other mitzvot. For example, fasting, prayer, sukkah, lulav, tzitzis, shmiras Shabbos, keeping the moadim, the holidays. Example, we have a holiday coming up in about 3 weeks. Correct? You guys know what that is? Purim. Baruch Hashem. Good. You guys are on top of it. And so he says that you have to have bitachon in doing mitzvot. Now we have to get into a little bit to see what that means. He says really with regard to whether you're going to be obedient to God or rebel against God, it depends on 3 things. Okay? Some of us might have a problem with the term obedient. But we have to obey God, which means we have to be obedient to what God commands us. Do you obey your parents? No, you don't. You don't obey. You kind of listen while playing Candy Crush. Put them on speaker and then you're playing some game. Yeah, she was great, yeah. Except one guy. He doesn't play on the phone. He's fully into the conversation. But he does it next to my office. So I have to be part of the conversation. But I keep my mouth shut. I don't say anything. But I could, huh? That would be fun. So we have to be obedient to Hashem. You're obedient? Are you? I got you. So first, you have to make a decision. It's a very deep concept. And I'm not kidding. You have to make a decision. Are you going to be obedient or are you going to rebel? You have a mitzvah in front of you, and now you have a decision to make. Are you going to abide by the decree that Hashem has made? Or will you say, it's my life. Don't tell me what to do. What do you think he is? Who died and made him in charge? So that's the first decision. So Moshe, before you miss class, that process takes place in your mind real quick. You have to make a decision, and you make a decision. So he says the first thing is, are you going to listen to Hashem or not? Second is, are you going to follow through with the decision that you made? And then there's number 3. Get the body to do what you've decided. Now, most of us, for most of the things, it's pretty automatic. But imagine when your alarm goes off in the morning. Your eyes wake up, right? They open. And now you have to make a decision. Am I going to snooze? Or am I going to get up? If you make a decision, I'm going to get up. So now the question is, are you going to follow through that decision? Or are you going to turn to the other side? And if you say, no, I'm getting up, now what? You have to peel the mountain of blankets that you covered yourself and put your feet on the ground. Right? Somebody told me. I woke him up, Rabbi. Good. He made a decision. Even if you made a decision to get up, then you had to actually follow through with that decision. And then you have to get that body out of bed. So those are the 3 steps in every mitzvah that you have in front of you. In every action, you actually go through with those 3. What happens if you make a deal with me, Yuda, and you don't keep to the deal? What should I be able to do to you? What?
Just attempt again.
A what?
We restart.
No. We're not restarting. This is not kindergarten. You don't get a prize for participation.
We didn't set a deadline.
First of all, I'm not talking about the deal that we put on the table with Hilly. I'm asking you a general question. If you made a deal with somebody, or if somebody made a deal with me, and they're not following through, what should be the penalty? Should there be penalty? Yes, Shai.
Dealer's choice.
Oh. Am I the dealer?
Yeah.
Okay. One of the deals I made with somebody a deal that they will send me a photo every morning of them putting on tefillin. I have not received any photos this week. Correct? Did we make a deal?
That's right. Sorry, I was under the weather.
You were under the weather. And what does that have to do with putting on tefillin and taking a photo? You could be under the weather, so what? Toughen up, Buttercup.
I was really sick, Rabbi, and my tefillin was over there. So I knew if I got up to go get my tefillin, I knew to stay for class. and then I just knew I wouldn't concentrate to my best capabilities in class. So I decided to take it.
People at home are listening to this and are looking at my face. And, I haven't heard so much. Made a deal, you stick to it. So I'm +2. And Shaya says I get to choose your penalty. So the penalty is that I will give you a haircut. Wait, and the length of your hair will be shortened by 2. Whatever length you have now, it's going to be minus double for 2 days. Okay, so it's going to be kind of like Dan's.
Let's set a new deal.
You can't set a new deal. No, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for a place to sit for my classes.
A place to sit. Well, there's a chair here that maybe somebody can, Shimmy, pull it this way and lift it over your head and give it to him.
There's a chair, 2 chairs.
Sit, relax, it's okay. Yeah. David, he wasn't even coming anywhere close to you. You're ducking, your feet up in the air. What's going on? He has glasses and you have glasses. Student.
Would they ever let us do this class in the main base measure?
Lo ivanti. What?
Would they ever let us would they ever ever let you do this class in like the main base, just so we have like all the space, like tons of space.
Do we need more space for this?
I feel like we need more space.
No, we could squeeze more people in. We have a seat. Well, maybe not. Yosef is hiding over there. Now, Hilly's face, he's so worried that I'm actually going to shave his head. Don't lock your door. And all you have to pay is play that sound next.
It's a good wake up alarm.
Okay. 3 steps. First, we make a decision. Are we going to do what Hashem wants? Or are we going to rebel against the will of Hashem? Second, to get this decision to start fulfilling the Maaseh. And then third, to actually get the body to do it. The body doesn't want to participate sometimes. Correct? There's a student here, I'm looking at you because it's not you, that likes, I'm telling you, it's not you. It's not the that likes to take a day off once a week. He's sick. So, for the last 2 weeks, he takes a day off. He has obviously an excuse and a bunch of edim, instances that he brings that to show that they even told he brought a whole, battalion, that he walked in the rain. Rabbi, he did. He walked in the rain. 30 minutes in the rain. This is what happens with these young kids, they are very fragile. Their immune system doesn't operate 5 days a week. Why don't you take your day off on Friday?
I don't choose.
Hashem chose it. That's the decision you made. Chase, what did you want to say?
When are we going to chastise me?
We do that all the time. We do that all the time. You just don't notice it.
I'm just like in the mood today. I don't know.
You're in the mood to get yelled at?
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. Okay. Now, shh. Why did he say those 3 things? Why did he say them? So to tell us that there is a process, that we have thought, decision-making, and action steps. Okay, I don't need to get out of bed at 3 o'clock to come here for the shiur to learn that. But what he's saying is something very, very important. Without doing those 3 steps, having bitachon in Hashem is not going to do anything. For example, let's take the little situation that we spoke about before. That a person wants to put on tefillin. And he says, Hashem, I have bitachon in you that you will help me put on tefillin every day. Is that it? But if he doesn't do those 3 steps, he could have all the bitachon in the world. It's not going to help because there's an aspect that you have to do. You have to make a decision. Are you going to follow what Hashem wants? If so, make that decision and get the body to follow through to the decision that you made. Without those 3 steps, there is no such thing as bitachon. So he says, فَتَوَكُّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فِي ذَلِكَ خَطَأ وَجِهَالٍ. It's not only mistake, but ignorance. Because you don't understand how bitachon works. You have to do your part. You want to grow in Judaism? You want to connect to Hashem on a higher level? You want to improve your life? improve your midot, you have to do something about it. Start making the right decisions. Once you make the decision, bring it down to what the plan is, and then execute it. It won't help you any other way. There are people who have hobbies. I have all these hobbies. So I pick a hobby and I learn everything about this hobby. I get into it, but I don't do anything about it. I just learn everything about, for example, I wanted to learn about raising goats and sheep. Okay, then I wanted to learn about hoof trimming. Hoof trimming on cows. Yeah, and what they do and how does it work and what do they do and what are the tools. And then I had one was called aquascaping. You ever seen that? That's so relaxing, which means that you take an aquarium and you plant plants and you put fish in there and there's no, you feed a little bit, but they all eat. Everything is like its own sort of ecosystem. Yes, ecosystem. But I don't do anything with it. My wife always says, what are you doing now? What are you going to do with that? Nothing. I don't want to do anything about it. I just want to learn about it. That's my hobby. I have a new hobby now. You want to know what it is?
Sheep shedding?
Nope. No, that's too hard. Not for me. I have arguments with AI. And yesterday was a beautiful day. I asked ChatGPT, I said, if you are giving advice to your best friend as to which AI is most reliable, and I gave him a list of which one would be the most reliable.
Did you include ChatGPT on the list?
What?
Did you include ChatGPT on the
Yeah.
list?
So ChatGPT, Grok 3, Claude, DeepSeek, and there's something else.
Oh my god, deep sea.
Grok 3 I asked. So I asked it. And he gave me an answer that I was very, very impressed with. It said that another one is more reliable than ChatGPT.
Is it Grok?
Nope.
DeepSeek.
Nope. Claude.
What do you define as reliable?
They didn't ask me that. Everything is debatable. Is there anything in the world that's not debatable? Machlaikes! Yes, everything is machlaikes!
Have you used Notebook LM yet?
No. What is that?
That one you'll like. It's an academic research platform by Google, and you can upload like 50, 100.
I don't want to upload. I want to download.
But then it does a podcast for you that you can talk to live.
Send me the WhatsApp on the name and
Yeah, then it's like
I'll start an argument with them.
Did you ever lose, Rabbi?
Yeah. Sure. But I took another one. I had another one that I shared with Rabbi Gottlieb and with Rabbi Salinger. I asked Claude which religion is more probable, and it gave me 3. None of them are Judaism. And I asked it, why did you not say Judaism? And so it went through the evidence and wrote this whole long, and it says, you're right. And then I added a few more factors, like the Kuzari argument, and I said, summarize Rabbi Gottlieb's Kuzari argument. And at the end, it agreed that if we go on an empirically based and rational position, that Judaism is the most probable of all religions. So then I said, if that's the case, then if Judaism is true, then it must be that the other ones are false. Would you agree with that? And he went through and said, yes, logically that would follow. So after this whole thing, I took that whole discussion. And I dropped it in Grok. And I asked, please analyze this conversation. And it also said, yeah, it seems sound and valid. And da. So somebody told me, well, you just proved that you can manipulate them. Of course you can manipulate them. They're not human. If we can manipulate humans, we can manipulate computers. And somebody in the back is crying. Why are you crying? Because we stopped you from taking a nap? We had falafel, Rabbi. I want to sleep. So there's people who have hobbies and don't do anything with them. There are people who come to yeshiva and don't take advantage of the opportunities that the yeshiva gives them, Moshe. They give a nice smile, they're very nice to the rabbis and polite. But tachles, they start working on themselves, fixing whatever needs to be fixed. So you made a decision to come to yeshiva, and you got your body down here. Do something with that. Don't go become a waiter. Okay. So he says that God, he says, لأن الله تعالى قد فوض إلينا اختيار طاعته ومعصياته. He says the Kadosh Baruch Hu placed in our hands the ability to follow him or to rebel against him. It's up to you. You can either follow Hashem and do what he said, or you say, no, it's up to you. Do you believe you have a choice? Do you feel you have a choice? Absolutely. He says, because the Torah says, وَبَخَرْتَ بَخَيِّم, you should select, you should choose life. Because the Torah, the way of the Torah, gives you life. And the other way does not. The path of rebellion against Hashem does not provide you life. It brings you to death. It doesn't bring you physical death. It brings you to spiritual death. It removes purity from your heart. It removes kedusha from your life. It burdens you with illusions and delusions, and poses a serious risk for your olam haba. And he told us that the whole game of choosing whether to follow Hashem or not is done in the real world, in the physical world. If you choose to come to Shachris right in the morning, that is a decision that you have to get yourself out of bed by what time? 7:45. 7:45?
Oh, wait, to be there?
Starts at 8.
7 o'clock.
What minyan starts at 8? The Pisgah, they allow you to go inside?
Yeah.
Everyone is, what?
7:55 is there.
7:45 is Mondays.
So in order to be there ready to go with tefillin, you have to get up probably by 7. Unless you need to shower, then you have to be up by 5:04. No?
No hot water.
Even better. Finally, Nets is starting to become early. You know, it's amazing.
Sorry, my reach now.
Yeah?
Not completely.
What time is it now?
I think it's like 6:15, 6:14.
And the earliest it goes?
The earliest is 5:15.
5:15.
5:12.
That's so
That means Nets.
That means waking up at 4.
Yeah. That's if you keep spring forward, daylight savings time. But if you remove daylight savings time, it's actually at 4:15, which means you have to wake up at 3 a.m. So there was a time in Israel that they didn't have daylight savings time. And came June, you would be up at 3 o'clock, 3:30 at night, so that you'd be ready to daven at 4:10, 4:15. Yes, sir.
Do you have to go to sleep? Like if you don't, let's say you.
Do I have to go to sleep? Yes. I do have to go. My mother calls and says, "You better go to bed." What do you mean do I have to?
Let's say you're working up late, you work all night basically.
No.
You said,
No. Don't work all night.
Let's say you're a night shift worker. I'm not saying for me, I'm saying for example, and you don't go to sleep, and you go to shop at 5 in the morning.
Then go to sleep.
Valid.
Yeah, of course.
Without sleep.
Of course.
Okay.
You just need somebody to be mighty you in brachas. Some of the brachas you can't make because you didn't sleep at night. But others you're fine. Yeah.
So then if you sleep for 8 hours and wake up again, you don't have to do shachris.
You already did shachris.
Did you say Modéani?
No. That's what people do. That's what people do on, let's say, on Shavuos. Right? They stay up all night. They daven shachris, and then they go to sleep, and they wake up like at 2, have lunch, daven mincha, and go back to sleep. Except if you keep second day Yom Tov, then you have to do it all over again. Don't look at me. I don't keep 2 days. I live in Eretz Israel. I'm kidding. The entire system of obedience to Hashem, rebelling to Hashem, operates in the physical world. And they are dependent on time and place because they're tied to physicality. So, he says like this: a person who trusts Hashem, in what sense? In making the right decision of trusting Hashem and following Hashem, and says, I won't select, and I won't make a decision, and I won't have the kavanah to do what Hashem said until it's going to be beneficial for me. Which means the person says, I'm not going to do mitzvahs unless I get something out of it. Heard of these people? There's people who say, Rabbi, I'm not holding there, I'm not doing it because I don't feel that I'm connected. What? Where did you get this from? In Har Sinai, what did the Jewish people say to Hashem? Naaseh v'nishma. We didn't say, first, wait a second. Tell us what you got in there in that bag. Give us examples of mitzvahs. So he says, okay, I've got a mitzvah of Yavama. Yavama, that's an interesting one. Okay, no, what else you got? Shemitah. What? You want me to do what for a year? And then burn the food? I'm not doing that. We're out. Skila on Shabbos? What? Knitting on Shabbos is a skila? Naaseh v'nishma. So if a person has bitochen in Hashem, he has to do the mitzvot, period. Regardless of what the consequences are. In the yeshiva, it's very easy to be a Jew, correct? You don't even have to worry about it. Right? You can wear your kippah, you can wear your tzitzit, and you have to worry and watch your back? No. Since we got rid of the shower buddy system, no, you don't even have to watch your back in the shower. Now,
I can do a lot of things. To give you the best answer, it would be helpful to know what you're interested in.
what are you watching, man?
It's not me. It's you.
No, because Rabbi Geffen and I. Wait a second, it is interesting. But wait, I want to see what that is. How do I find out what that is? Gemini. It's popping up. It's trying. He wants to be part of the conversations. So he says, what else you got? Okay, whatever. So weird, because Rabbi Geffen and I were listening to a shir together, but the shir was in Hebrew. It wasn't going to be. And all of a sudden, Gemini. The Chinese are listening to my Musar class. They're sitting there at 3 o'clock, trying to decipher what the heck is he talking about.
Gemini is the Americans.
What?
Gemini are Americans.
Yeah, but the phone is Chinese.
Gemini.
Show me. What?
Both of them. They both have access, but it doesn't go to the Chinese servers. It goes to them.
I'm getting I make a joke, and now it's like, no, that joke doesn't work because it's American. Yeah, I'm sure they were listening to the shir today for sure. Especially when Ari Yitzchak with his questions. That's why his passport being held up. Kadosh Baruch Hu told us to follow the Torah no matter what. Which means that we do what the Torah says and we have bitachon in HaKadosh Baruch Hu that everything will be okay. Zeu. So we wear tzitzit. Zeu. We wear kippah. Zeu. Shomer Shabbat. Zeu. We fast when there are fast days. Zeu. Rosh Chodesh Adar, we have to marbe b'simcha. So we're marbe b'simcha. On Purim, you're going to get drunk? Noam?
Mayhaps, we'll see.
I'd like to see that. That should be like a pay-per-view.
Pay-per-view? Me
Are we
versus
gonna see
Alpha?
you?
What?
Are we gonna see you on Purim?
No, I don't think so.
What?
Purim,
To your house.
what?
We're going to your house.
You can come to my house, but there's nobody going to be there.
Where are you gonna be?
I'm going to be, so the debate in my house now is I said, and I found, the Shlah says it, the Gra, that you should do the Suda in the morning. So I said to my wife, I'll be home by 6:15, 6:20. I will do the Suda at 6:20 and then drink enough to fall asleep. And then I'll wake up at like 11 or 12 and then help get the house for Shabbos and, make the cholent and everything. And she's like, nah, you're not doing that. But that's what I'm hoping to do, so that it's going to be done. Because Erev Shabbos, right? It's going to be Friday. If you come, you're not going to be able to get back, and you don't want to miss Shabbos in Ohr Somayach.
Make it there. If you're doing the meal at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, she's not going to let me do it at 6 o'clock.
Don't worry, we'll figure it out.
Pull up. No. That word, those two words, are give me a little bit of anxiety, because my mother-in-law's husband owns a private plane, and he took us to Matzada, and he did a 360 very low, so he just went, and all you hear the computer say, pull up, like, it's not like 7G, but you feel it, like, whoa, and it's beautiful, and then, you pulled up, but you hear this whole thing screaming, pull up, so it has a different meaning for me. Anyway, why are you so serious today, David? Yeah. Dan, what time?
3:43.
What?
3:43.
No. What time do we end today?
We will end like either 5 minutes or 10 minutes.
Okay. I'm not listening to him. He always tried to shortchange us, Isaac. He's always trying to shortchange us learning Torah. So, the bitachon is to trust Hashem and fulfill the mitzvot no matter what. Zeu. And I won't tell you it's not a nisayon. It is a test. Sometimes it is going to be difficult. Sometimes it's going to be a little harder to follow what Hashem asked you to do than other times. Even in the yeshiva. People think when you come to yeshiva, the Yetzer Hara doesn't come with you. But the Yetzer Hara is inside. Right here. In class with us. Causes you to doodle for the entire hour. No? Ask him. He's the one that doodles. I can't look at the person that is doodling and because then the person will get embarrassed and there's complaints and mama calls and oh, why are you singling my son? You know, he always doodles.
Does that actually ever happen?
No. Well, in the university once it happened that a parent called me. They wanted the grades of their daughter. And I said, I'm sorry, federal law prohibits me from providing any personal information to you. But I pay the school. Now, nobody told me to say that. But I just didn't want to give it to her. You know, she's an adult. She's an adult. Why do I need to speak to parents for? If I wanted to work with parents, I would teach in high school. And I don't want to. I don't want to work with teenagers. And I don't want to handle, parents' complaints and stuff. So, yes? You have something to say about that? Oh, Hashem. It's when parents get involved, it's complicated. And also, I make it very clear to the parents that I don't work for them, I work for you. My primary interest is to do what's best, what I think is best for you. Not what they think your life should be like. It's whatever that I think is best for you. And parents have a different vision of what your life should be. Some parents want you to get a job. Right? Well, in your case, yes. How many masters do you need? 6 is enough. You got room for more. I know. But that's the role of the Yeshivat Ohr Somayach. We try to do what's best for you. That's what we're here for. Sometimes the students tell the rabbis things that the parents don't know. Sometimes there's conflicts between the kids and the parents, and you have to sort of buffer. There was one time it was a very, very serious case it's a very sad case that the mother came here to get her son, and he didn't want to go with her, and she was screaming and was going to call the cops, but we had to, he's not 18, he's not 15 years old. Why are you smiling?
Because I heard what happened. I just sounded funny.
You heard what happened. What happened? Does anybody know what this means?
You yanked your ear or something and pulled her out of the house.
No, I told her that if she doesn't leave, I will have to take her out physically.
You didn't actually do it?
No, she
Oh, okay.
No, I told her that because there were people learning here. It was in the middle of Seder, and we had to just get her out of here. This is very, very uncomfortable, but we have to do what's best for you. So bitachon in Hashem is that you trust that when you are going to do the mitzvot, Kadosh Baruch Hu is going to take care of you. And you just need to do the mitzvot that Hashem has commanded you. If He commanded you not to do something, then don't do it. Even though you might think it's going to benefit you in the short term or long term. But the bitachon in Hashem says, no. If Hashem told me in the Torah that there's certain things I shouldn't eat, then I don't eat it. Zeu. If Hashem told me not to break Shabbos, then I don't break Shabbos. It's difficult, it's this, my leg fell asleep, I walked in the rain, whatever. Zeh ma yesh. Zeh ma yesh, that's what it is. We trust Hashem that everything will be fine. And if you have your true emunah, you will see that nobody has ever was harmed by keeping the Torah, the mitzvahs of the Torah. La yachol liyot. Takes great emunah. Okay. There's a difference with regard to parnasa and our health and business and travel and the mitzvot. In mitzvot, we have to do the mitzvot and zeh. We have to do them. Hashem gives us an opportunity to do a mitzvah, gives you an opportunity to do a chesed, you do the chesed. Now you have to know the cheshbon of the mitzvahs. You have to know that if you are sitting and learning Torah, you're potter from doing other things because you're doing a mitzvah of learning. I can get to a bus to Petach Tikva, but you're learning Torah. Okay, so certain situations. A person has to trust Hashem. He says, when you make choices and when you actualize those choices, that you should trust that Hashem will benefit us. So whether it's in parnasa or whether it's in our health, we do what we can, and we have to pray to Hashem, he says, that will help us choose the right thing. Sometimes we're in situations that it's very hard for us to know what's the right thing to do. For example, I don't think there's anybody in this situation right now. Leave yeshiva or stay in yeshiva. There are situations where the right decision would be to leave. There, not Zdei Eliyahu. That's not the right decision. Sorry, I'm just telling you what I think. Same thing when shidduchim. Should I sit and learn? If I sit and learn, I can concentrate, I can learn 8 hours a day. But if I start shidduchim, I have to, start earning money, because I need money to, it's called flash money. Right? You have to show a little bit of bills, and you have to pay for her, whatever, coffee, whatever it is. You can't just do this and pull out, Coke with 2 straws. Let's see if this works out. Otherwise, you're out of here, toots. But it's a decision. So when we make the decisions, when we have decisions, big decisions to make, the process is to pray to Hashem and ask Him, Hashem, please help me, guide me into making the right decision. And that when you do, you should have bitachon that Hashem will take care of you. Don't worry. Doesn't matter if it's Daria or Pinar or this girl or that girl. Hashem will help you. Yeah. Okay, we'll stop here and we'll continue tomorrow.